Well, here we are, the day after the FOMC meeting, and while I believed that we were going to have a sell-off, this is my belief, that we were going to have a sell-off and then a shoot up to the upside from the FOMC meeting. It turns out we had a buy the rumor, sell the news, and it looks like that we're moving towards the downside. So if anyone took a buy off this liquidity retest level, that was a nice little move to the point of interest of 1.25%. And anyone who took a short from here down to the lows collected a 1.8%, and if they move down to lower levels, then it's moved from our recent the top of the point of interest that we measured yesterday down to the current level of 4.33%. So that's a nice little move to grab over our morning. So let's look at what we could be heading to for now. So I took a buy order at this level. Alright, let's just tidy this up. And these liquidity wicks are now filled. Alright, so let's just have a quick tidy up. So as prices move through, let's flush this out. I will still keep this one here at 65,512. The price has moved from that one, which was around the 65,600, but now this has become a liquidity retest because we have this imbalance wick coming straight through. It hasn't been liquidated by a wick or two candles, so that is tidied up. This one has been touched by two candles. This one is touched by two candles, so that is filled. That is clearly not happening at that point. So we've come down. We've got no peak wicks. What is that there? Let's have a look. So that is nothing because we haven't completed today. So I filled that out first thing this morning as between here and here, the low of the wick of Tuesday and the high of this morning's Thursday wick is an imbalance. So that isn't confirmed until this candle completes its trade. So until 10 o'clock tomorrow, this candle is not completed, and then this imbalance cannot be confirmed. So that was just me playing around on the charts this morning. So let's look at this now. So we've really got nothing as far as resistance. I will convert this one to a liquidity retest because it's only just touched by this wick, and that may just be because I haven't balanced it properly. So that's at the low with a low of 64,392.5, and that was a low of 64,368. So it is just wicked. So we can cancel that one out as well. Alright, and so now we're moving into these lower levels. I had a buy order at 63,660. brings down my average, of price. So that way that price doesn't have to move up as far, but it's not a trade of like the martingale strategy where you double down every time you move down. It's as you come into resistance, it's where you look at where is this reasonably going to bounce. So if we look at this, price is moving down. Can we reasonably suspect that price is going to come up and is it going to come up a little bit, or is it just going to shoot through the levels now? So I don't think that, because price always moves in a wave. We can't have it moving in one direction for the whole time. There's always an ebb and flow state. It's a wave-based function, and so with that in mind, the price has to move up a little bit. Alright, so let's just reset the chart view and move back in. So through here, there's not really any, as far as our analysis goes, there's no liquidity wicks. However, we do have two blue candles, which can give us an excuse for a liquidity level. But because it is in the middle of a free fall, I do find this liquidity retest as a better target. And so as we come into here, we've got two liquidity wicks. If I just delete that one in the middle, we've got two liquidity wicks basically on top of each other with the assumed protected low of this whole range. Now if I zoom out to a daily, it really is such a small component to the entire move. And with the context of fast moves up, fast moves down, we've come up here, we've bounced around, and so we are looking to fill these imbalances. And so whether we stop in the middle or we stop at the bottom, it doesn't matter. We've got to see where we're going to find some resistance. So my long position right now is merely a short-term move, because I'm looking for a short-term bounce and then I'm looking for a short-term short. So that will allow me, with the anticipation of now we've come up, we formed this structure, we've kept mitigation relatively tight, and I'm expecting a little bit of price down into here. Now I don't know where it's going to stop. Is it going to stop through here as a buy point of interest? Is it going to stop in here as a long point of interest? Or is it going to stop as a long point of interest through here? Now let's just move down into the hourlies and have a look at where those made up sit. So this one doesn't seem very reasonable because we've got one liquidity wick just here. And then we've got two liquidity wicks in this level, but then once we drop past that, there's lots of liquidity wicks around that 57,000. Now, is structure going to hold up around the 59,000? 59 to 60,000? Is that going to be the low? Are we going to tap that 60,000? Maybe. Or are we just going to come down and wick through to 62,000? Or is this one liquidity grab at 60,600? 60,650. Is that going to be the level? Well, only time will tell. So there, let's just get rid of those because that just congests everything. Alright, and we'll get rid of that one too. Alright, cool. So there are our hourly liquidity wicks that we're looking at. So with this intention, I am looking at, if this comes down, where is it going to stop for me to bounce and grab a couple of percent move from this buy level into these buy wicks. If it breaks past here without even moving up, then I have to change my bias. But from there to there, without a bounce to the upside, from a move from 64,400 breaking down past 62,200 and not moving up again, it seems pretty unlikely. I'd have to be damn unlucky for that to happen, and that always seems to be the case, but not really. But there's always an ebb and flow in the market. There's a liquidation to higher prices, a liquidation to lower prices, liquidation to higher prices, liquidation to lower prices, higher prices, lower prices, higher prices, lower prices, higher prices, lower, higher, lower. So there's going to be a level where this comes to higher prices, to lower prices, to higher prices, and then eventually back down to lower prices. And that's how it moves. So I'm looking for a short-term bounce with the intention that we are going to come down and we are going to challenge a few of these imbalances, and we are going to liquidate a lot of people down here. If we could possibly, let's just look up and analyze just while we're here. Let's look up Bitcoin and let's look up liquidations. Oh no, CoinGlass. Sorry, my apology. CoinGlass. Here we go. So let's look at the heat map here. I think I'm on the wrong one. Oh. Here we go. Sorry. Let's go back here. Done it again. Where I'm not prepared. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh. Where are we? Liquidation heat map. There we go. It's coming, I promise. Alright, so on CoinGlass, a liquidation heat map. What we've seen in the last 24 hours, this price came up, it wicked around, and at 4 o'clock, which is here we were at the start of the federal rates meeting, we came down and we took out all this area, this liquidation of longs with all their stop losses. We just blew through. We carried across from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock, and now we've just fallen further, and now we're taking out a further liquidation. Now we do have this level of liquidation, a really thick amount at 64,629. So that's a nice level of congestion, but we still have a level of congestion at 62,700. So what do we have? 62,700 and 64,600. Let's have a look here. So if we've got for 700, so there's a level of liquidation held there at 64,700, and then at 63,300 is a level of buy side liquidity. 63. Which is right there at that low. So between here, we've got this really tight range of, is price going to come up and liquidate here to liquidate here, or is it going to do the opposite? Is price going to come down, liquidate here to liquidate there to liquidate further? So we have to acknowledge that price is going to move in both directions, and it is going to liquidate both sides. So we've just got to work out, are we going to go long from here and sell out at this 64,700, or are we going to come down to lower prices? And so I have the bullish case, but we're going to come down, we're going to fill some liquidity to buy long, and then we'll take out some liquidity up here before going down to challenge these imbalances. And that's it for today. Happy trading. I will actually, so that's my bias for today. And then from here, we'll either continue up higher. Let me just finish what I was saying. And then, or we are going to travel down over the next 24 hours. So I do think we're going to come up for a bounce, but are we going to move further down or go to the upside? Only time will tell. I do think we're going to come out, we're going to liquidate and move further down. But let's just wait and see. Thanks everyone, happy trading, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.